We did over $600 million in sales last year. Should I have spent $600 million on gold and silver for myself? Well, if I had the money, I probably would have. The point of it is that this has been my business since 1989, when gold was $250 and silver was $3 or $4 an ounce. I've lived through the deepest, darkest bear markets anyone could ever imagine, in a period of time when nobody wanted gold and silver, where we started our company on a wing and a prayer and a loan from a friend. It's only till now that we've gotten to a place where these questions are even somehow asked. I've been buying precious metals, as I've said on your show many times, every 2 weeks for 31 years. I believe in it to my core, to my soul. I am 100% invested in precious metals and own one of the nation's largest precious metals company. I am not the poster child for Finance 101. I am completely lacking diversity in my portfolio, and I sleep very well at night. So to that person, I do believe everything that I say, completely and totally. And I own a business trying to help as many people as I can. And they go hand in glove to me. So just because I sell it, when I take fiat in, it goes to pay, to buy the metal, to pay my employees, to pay my own bills. But any spare cash that I have, then again, I put it into gold and silver. And I think about this all the time. What would I do if I won the lottery? Where would I put my money? Stocks, bonds, and real estate at all-time highs, or into precious metals at you could argue, as low as they've ever been in an inflation-adjusted basis in a world that's gone mad. That's where I'd put my money. So I don't know what to say to that person other than think it through, like you said. Does that mean a baker who loves apple pies should not, like Mrs. Fields? Mrs. Fields, if she never sold cookies, the world never would have had them. Everyone loves Mrs. Fields cookies if you're old enough to remember them, and she loved them too. The point of it is that one has nothing to do with the other. I understand precious metals because I've been doing it since I was 19 years old, and in the 31 years that I've been doing it, most of the time was a struggle and a grind and just trying to make ends meet. And I still bought it every 2 weeks because I believed in it that much. Just because times have changed and I've been able, sometimes in life you have to just be there, hang on long enough to be there to see this kind of market. Just because I've had strong fingertips and been able to hang on and stay out of debt, and be here at this period of time doesn't mean that I still don't personally accumulate it the same way I did in 1989 when I had no money and precious metals were not on anyone's radar screen. So peace of mind and sleep at night is the only asset you really need to worry about, or one of the biggest, let's say, the most important. And I want to help people get to that comfort level. Hopefully they end up doing business with us. But if they have questions, they need to know about this industry like that, throw them at me. I got nothing to hide. And quite frankly, I think it's better that people understand, just what it entails to run a precious metals business. And it's a business, but I will tell you that to me, gold and silver have a much greater significance. And I don't know. To me, it's just immutable historical wealth that when all of this craziness settles and the dust clears, I think if you don't own precious metals right now, I think you're destined to really have a difficult time when traditional assets get or have a meeting with price discovery, because right now, in an environment where interest rates have been controlled by the state, not by the market, price discovery is next to impossible, and they're all distorted. And this crack up boom where everything goes up and you see a slowdown, like the jobs report the other day, they were expecting 700,000, they got 200,000, something like that. Remember, what did the Fed say? That they're going to continue monetizing and buying 150 billion a month until they see employment numbers stabilize. Well, it's going the other way. It's just another way of saying they're never going to stop printing and monetizing and creating inflation and distortions. This more than ever is the reason why now you need to start to slowly, like the big money is doing, divest of your exposure to dollars and traditional assets. And all of you sitting on lots of profit in cryptocurrencies and in equities, think hard about this. Profit's not a four-letter word. Take some chips off the table, go to the cage and up to your hotel room for Vegas parlance with a pocket full of money. Don't sit in the casino long enough for them to take it away from you. And I think a lot of people will do that because we're going to wake up one day on a Monday morning and see a whole new reality. And this is how it always happens. It will happen over a weekend. It'll happen in the middle of the night, and you'll wake up and the doors have been shut. You know, this is what I think is the type of awakening or moment where when something like that happens closer to home, overnight, everyone runs to the one place that you can actually go right now, and that's metals. And this is when people get shut out. Imagine everyone trying to run through one. You're in an auditorium and it lights on fire and there's one revolving door and everyone's trying to get through that door at once. It doesn't work. I've never been more convinced of that in my life, that this is coming. And this, to me, only crystallizes why for the last 4.5 years, the biggest money in the world has been slowly de-dollarizing, the no-look pass. Goose all the equity markets up to the moon, and then slowly exit stage left. And that's what they're doing. And they're moving into gold and silver while holding down the paper prices to not alert people to the fire exit in the back stage left. And, you know, you have to understand misdirection is very pervasive. And as soon as it becomes obvious to the big money what's going on, and I say big money, the really big money's already figured it out. But the big money in this country who's got millions of dollars in the bank and traditional assets, they're going to wake up and be very frightened very quickly. And I'm convinced of that because something like this, it happens so quickly. And then it starts to spread so quickly that the doors get, they get locked. And that's what I was getting at last week with you. And we've been seeing that in far, I'm not saying massive volume increase. I'm saying the size of orders are growing exponentially. And from people who largely have never bought before. That's very different. And throwing around $1 million like it's no big deal. Now, I don't want people to feel that we only work with large clients. You know, that same day I did an order for 3 Silver Eagles to one of your listeners. And, we're happy to help any way that we can. But I am simply saying that there's a lot of money out there that has believed that hope springs eternal and that everything is fine and green shoots are coming out of everywhere. And I think we're going to wake up to the need to look for an alternative. And that's what I was trying to get at yesterday. And this deal with Evergrande, to me, is symptomatic of what we can expect to see here as well.